Hey guys, so this video is just going to be like my month one update talking about all my experiences in my first month of Accutane, my side effects, kind of how I felt, what I did to like treat that, and then my dermatologist visit, and then just leading up to next month. So first things first, I'm going to talk about my dermatologist appointment. I had it on a Thursday of last week. It was on the 12th, and today is the 17th. So first things first, there are a lot of complications within my dermatology. They're a little bit unorganized, so basically I wasn't able to start my Accutane dosage of 20 milligrams that she prescribed me until yesterday, so it was like 4 days that I wasn't taking Accutane, so that kind of sucks. So once I got there, so I got my blood work done on Monday of last week, and then my appointment was on Thursday. And so on my appointment, I talked to my dermatologist, and basically she just asked me how I was feeling. She asked me if my skin was dry, if my lips were dry, which they were. She just asked me about my symptoms and everything, which I told her about. And so she told me to just obviously like keep moisturizing, which is what I've been doing. She said she really emphasized the fact that I should continue using Aquaphor like on my lips even when I don't feel that they're dry. Just put it on, and especially when I do, she's like, if you need to apply it every 5 seconds, every 5 minutes, like go ahead and do that, because obviously it's better to over moisturize than to have your lips like crack and peel and gross stuff. So I told her that my skin was relatively like fine. Like I feel like my skin hasn't been dry or anything, which is good. I'm thankful for that. And then she asked about my mental health, which is something I didn't really talk about in my short little clips, like in the video that I posted recently, just because, I don't know, I wanted to like have a deeper conversation about it. So I'm going to talk about that now. So throughout my first month, okay, I'm a pretty emotional person in general, but I feel like everything was kind of amplified, and I found myself crying over things that like just didn't make sense to cry about almost. And there were sometimes like I had a few days where I would just be crying, like I don't know why. I felt so bad for my boyfriend. Like I would just sit and cry, and he'd be like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I don't know," like, and I would just cry and cry, like, but there were only days like that. Like it wasn't a constant feeling, and it's not like I was sad or anything. It was just like, I guess like crying spells, which I told my dermatologist about, and she was like, well, as long as you're not feeling like suicidal or depressed, like you'll be okay. Like just obviously talk about like your feelings to people and stuff, and you know, like just tell the truth about it. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't ever like depressed or anything. It was just like this weird crying thing that like I just felt like it was necessary to cry. And I feel like on some days I was a little bit more anxious, but overall it's nothing that like concerned me. And if it ever gets to the point that it's concerning me, then obviously like I'll talk to my dermatologist, I'll talk to people around me, because mental health is a serious thing, and obviously like you need to talk about that stuff. But besides that, she told me about my nose. Like I told her it was like seriously incredibly like freaking dry. Like it was so crusty, it's gross. Like, but she told me that I should put Aquaphor and like get a little cotton swab and then just dip it in Aquaphor and then put it in my nose. And I've been doing that, and it has helped me so much. Like my skin or my nose like doesn't feel like dry or anything, which is nice. I've only had 2 nosebleeds this month, so that's cool. And they've both been like very light, I want to say. It's nothing like, it's just like extreme bleeding. Like it's only been like a couple seconds, and then if I just like get a napkin and stuff, like clean it up, then I'm fine. She also talked about my diet. She asked me how my diet was, which, as I've mentioned before, I feel like I have like a pretty decent diet. Like I really try to eat as many like vegetables and fruits that I can, but she really emphasized that I should eat a lot of more vegetables and fruits because my blood work came back, and I guess my triglycerides were double and a half the amount that they were before starting Accutane, which is kind of concerning to her. She basically, triglycerides, like I looked it up, and they're like enzymes in your liver, and so yeah, it's not good for them to be producing so many triglycerides. I don't know like the actual definition. I guess I should look it up. So Google says triglycerides are a type of fat found in your blood. When you eat, your body converts any calories it doesn't need to use right away into triglycerides. The triglycerides are stored in your fat cells. Later, hormones release triglycerides for energy between meals. So yeah, my body's producing a lot of triglycerides, which is not good, because I was reading like in other articles when I was like trying to research it that like it's not good for your heart, obviously. So yeah, so she really emphasized that I need to have a good diet and a clean diet, which I'm trying to do. So yeah, that's why she lowered me in my dosage of 20 milligrams. So the original plan was doing 60 milligrams into my second month, but now I'm doing 20 milligrams, which is sucky. But I feel like my skin has had like a pretty good reaction to Accutane. Like it hasn't had, okay, it's had breakouts, but it's never anything like extreme. Like I've seen a lot of other people have a lot worse like reactions, like the initial breakouts. Like people have like bad ones, so I'm thankful that so far it hasn't been anything too bad. Obviously I'm only in month 1 and people start to experience that in like month 2, so we'll see how that goes. And then I showed in my videos that I was using hydrocortisone for the like side cracks of my lips, which I mentioned to my dermatologist, and she was like, I do not recommend doing that, because then you, like, it's so close to your mouth that you have an intake of hydrocortisone, and obviously it's not good to consume that. So I stopped doing that. So I don't recommend doing that at all, because obviously it's not good for you. So far I feel like overall I'm pretty like happy with the results of my Accutane. The only thing that was kind of bothering was like me crying for no reason, because I found myself in situations where I was like, okay, what the heck? Like it was just annoying at that point, like but the products I have been using, each night I put on this Clinique Moisture Surge Overnight Mask, which I've showed in the other videos, but it honestly has really helped. Like this thing moisturizes me, and then in the morning, when I'm like about to do my makeup and stuff, I put on this Moisture Surge Intense. It's not focusing. Yeah, Aquaphor all over my lips. I've tried to be really adamant about putting it on my lips, just because my lips are one thing that like really bother me, like if they're dry. But yeah, so I'm kind of behind in my dosage, just because what happened was, okay, it was kind of annoying. So for iPledge, which is the program that like ensures that you don't get pregnant like throughout you taking Accutane, because as I've said before, a lot of birth defects. There's a 7-day window of from the time that you take your pregnancy test to when you can get your Accutane prescription. So I took my pregnancy test on Monday, and then my dermatology appointment was on Thursday, and then I had called my pharmacy and like I was waiting for my prescription to be, you know, ready, and then it said it was still processing, and so I was just waiting it out. And then when Sunday came around, I thought about the fact that there's a 7-day window. Like, I don't know, it hadn't like popped into my head, and it timed out, so I had to go back to my dermatology the Monday after, so this week Monday, and then I had to retake a pregnancy test. I literally just had to pee in a cup and had her verify that I wasn't pregnant, and then she had to call my pharmacy again, and yeah. So this is what I'm taking now. The 20 milligrams is in like a pinkish box. but it's still the same. It's just 3 little packets of this, and then when you open it up, you have your Accutane. The 20 milligrams is like a different color. You can see that literally everywhere it's like, don't get pregnant, do not get pregnant, don't get pregnant, don't get pregnant, don't get pregnant. I'm also getting these like weird like skin patches, like they're just dry skin patches. Basically eczema, like, I think. Yeah, so need to moisturize that, but everything else like has been okay. There are nosebleeds, dry patches, but honestly nothing has been too intense. The only thing that I think was like crazy was like my lips, because I don't know, I hadn't experienced like dry cracks in my lips before. I felt like those little kids that like are constantly licking their lips and like they're just always red. Like that's how I felt. But it's been okay. I think it's because I haven't been taking Accutane for like 4 days, so the symptoms kind of went down and my lips are normal. But I don't know. I wonder how intense my skin will feel, or how intense the side effects will feel with 20 milligrams. I hope that my blood work comes back okay once this 1 month is up, because obviously if they lower my dosage, that means that kind of extends the amount of time that I'm taking Accutane, which is sucky because I'm literally like going into summer and my skin is super sensitive right now to the sun, so I'm gonna have to be careful about that too. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit and kind of give you guys like a more in-depth conversation about it, and I wanted to tell you guys about my dermatology appointment and just kind of the whole process of it. Accutane, getting the Accutane is a very like, they make it very, not difficult, but they just want to be sure that you are not pregnant, so it's just like this whole process. But yeah, so I'm going to keep updating my face, and then I'll have a new video next month about my month 2. And fingers crossed it's not anything crazy or anything bad, and I hope that my blood work comes back okay, because I really am liking how my skin is looking. I have like, obviously I have makeup on right now, but like it's looking okay. Like I was looking at pictures last night of when my skin was so bad, and I was just like, sad days. Let's just show the world. So this was May 14th of 2018. So about a year ago, this is how my skin was. Oh, so gross. I'm so thankful that I'm past that part of my life, because it was just so... But yeah, so I'll update next month. I'll talk about my blood work, my side effects, everything the same. But yeah, so I'll keep updating that, and then next month will be when I post my next video.